Thank you so much for coming out tonight, for supporting this cause, for supporting this film, for supporting something that is so close to my heart. I grew up in South Africa. I went to boarding school in the Eastern Cape. It was a 23-hour train trip from Johannesburg, where my mom lived. And at half-term breaks, you would go home to your folks, or your folks would come to you. In my case, my mom didn't want anything to do with me. So, I'm kidding, she loved me. So she couldn't fly out to visit me, so you stay with friends. Friends invite you to their homes, that you look after them for a 4-day break during the school term. And I would visit my friends in and around the Eastern Cape. In this particular case, his name was William Foles. He and I played rugby together all my life. He had his head firmly stuck between my legs. He was a lock, I was a forward. It's a rugby joke. And the farm that he had at the time was all livestock, sheep and cattle. They decided that the writing was on the wall, let's do away with that. They turned it into a wildlife game farm. They rewilded, they tore down the fences, they got together with the surrounding farmers. They said, we need to restore this land so it goes longer and further than what we're doing to it now. Hence, Amakala was born. Now, William was a vet, and being in the game business, he became a wildlife vet. When any rhinos were poached in the surrounding farms, he was the first line of defense to come to the rescue of these rhinos. Yeah. In the beginning, they would get there and the rhino would have his face decimated. They would still be bleeding out, they would still be alive, but there was nothing they could do. No one had done anything like that before. No one knew the first thing about how to reach out and try and save these extraordinary animals. They started figuring it out. He then got called to a poaching. There was a female rhino and a male rhino, Thandi and Temba. They had been poached, they had been drugged, their faces had been cut off for their horns, and they were left to die. Dr. William Foles and his team were called in. As time went on, they managed to save the life of Thandi, but unfortunately, Temba succumbed to his wounds. Thandi has gone on to give birth 4 times. Thandi's first calf just gave birth to its first calf. This is one man. This is one guy who decided he wanted to do something. He wanted to make a difference. He became a wildlife vet. He got a crew together. He got a team together. And he got support from conservation companies like Global Conservation Force. Thank you, Mike, Veal, and your team. You guys are extraordinary. William's work was documented. It was inspiring. And the most recent visit I had in South Africa about 18 months ago, I was on William's farm, just he and I on a game drive in the morning. He got a call. A rhino had just been poached in a neighboring farm. I went with him. And I saw firsthand what it looks like and what it feels like to smell, to see, and to be in the presence of this horror. And I made a promise to him that I was going to do something. I was going to do something to help drive funds to their farm, to help support the rhinos, to help support the security in the Eastern Province. And this was something he'd heard before. He'd heard people go, I want to help you, man. I want to do something. And he was used to it. And every now and then something would happen and someone would help. But I didn't want to be one of those statistics who says something and never follows through. And my biggest fear was, what can one man do? What can one person do? So I wrote a script, a short story based on William and his work, the rhinos he saved, the endangerment that he puts himself and his crew in, and the lives of the rhinos that he saves. And then I met Will and Darwin. That's 1 and 1, that's 2 more, that's 3 people now. What can 3 people do? 3 people can start putting out a challenge. People can put out a word. You start going, we're going to make this movie. We don't have money for it. How do we do it? Let's ask people. Let's get it together. The funding for the project fell through in the beginning, so we were starting from scratch. So we thought, we've all got friends. We've all got family. Let's reach out. One person. One person. One person. One person. There's like 150 people here tonight now. And I can't tell you what that means to me. What you guys have given up coming here tonight, how generous you've been to help me help them. And being involved with these nonprofits is just some of the most rewarding work that I've ever done in my life. So, one person at a time, coming together, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. So you don't be afraid, because there's always one other person there who will stand next to you and do it with you and help you. Thank you, Chuck.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I hope that everyone here is as moved with his words. But this is a chance right now for the 150 people here to do something. And I'm asking you, doesn't matter how, there's going to be a level for everybody. But can we all participate here? Can we all walk out of here tonight knowing David is going to be able to do something for these animals? Yeah. Are you with me? Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen.